Hi, everybody. It's Wendy Wisdom here with a bit of food for thought. Our session this week is just some wisdom keys for you guys to focus on throughout the week. And so today's session is titled The Pitfalls of Ignoring What You Truly Want. And so I want to talk about some words of wisdom that will help you to focus in on what it is that you truly want and how to narrow in and identify what it is that you want, and also recognize the pitfalls and how those things will block you from actually recognizing what you want and being able to have the courage to take action to move forward to obtain what it is that you want, or realize, okay, this is not a realistic need of mine. Let this go and move forward. Okay, so here we go. So this comes from me really speaking to people and acknowledging it with myself also, that there are things that we want and we're frustrated. And sometimes we don't even know why we're frustrated. We may say we're frustrated about one thing, but really when you sit and talk to somebody, you realize, there's some other things that I'm frustrated about pertaining to this situation, person, or matter. And sometimes it takes having conversation with people. And it takes for you to sit down, be still for a moment to really think about what it is that is frustrating me. What is it that I really want? What am I not receiving? So sometimes we have to turn off the phone. We have to be still. I don't care if you're sitting in traffic. Be still and really think about your actual thoughts and your feelings. What is your heart saying to you? Okay? So, here go the words of wisdom. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. A longing fulfilled is a tree of life. I repeat, hope deferred makes the heart sick. But a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. So, considering that, what is hope? Hope is merely a desire to desire something with expectation of fulfillment. You're expecting that thing to come to pass. You're expecting a person to perform or do something that it is that you are desiring for them to do. So the flip side to hope is that I would encourage you to be realistic with yourself about what it is that you're hoping for. Okay? What is it that I really want from this thing that I'm hoping for? Because there's positive hoping and there's negative. So, negative hopes, which are filled with unrealistic expectations, for one thing, you cannot hope that someone just suddenly wakes up and change one day. Somebody who's been treating you poorly forever and a day, they're just going to roll over one day and be like, you know what? I'm going to treat this person better. No, actually, it takes some action or some consequences for them to actually get it. Or your absence, sometimes it takes that. Or for you to withdraw some things that they enjoy. It takes some type of action for them to realize that you need better treatment. So also, you cannot hope for somebody's husband to love you. You cannot hope for a promotion if you're not doing what you're supposed to do at work. You cannot hope to find a good job if you're not actively pursuing jobs and applying or setting a goal. I will apply for 3 to 5 fruitful positions, not just any old positions that are in line with what it is that I want to do in my background or where it is I want to take my career next. So just make sure that your expectations and the things that you are hoping for are realistic and healthy for you. Okay. So here is the pitfalls of ignoring what it is that you truly want. For one, when you are ignoring what it is that your heart and your spirit is um, begging for you to pay attention to, for one, you will become embittered and discouraged. Your spirit will be discouraged to hope for positive things to happen. For instance, if you had a bad relationship or had a bad manager, you're going to be a little scarred and you're going to be a little guarded for the next opportunity that comes around if you don't do the work to kind of work through that and realize, okay, this is what I needed to learn from that experience. Now I need to let it go and move forward, right? And try not to repeat anything that you know that you need to work on, okay? Because it will present itself again in a different way to get your attention to it. Okay. So the second pitfall is you will find yourself complaining versus being grateful. This has happened to me recently. Me complaining and complaining and complaining about things that I'm not quite satisfied with, like my job. Because it's stressful, you know, because it's stressful and sometimes it can feel a little punitive in the environment that I work in. So it causes me to be stressed when actually I don't have to be in a posture of complaining, but take the feedback that I'm receiving from my manager, um, or her boss, to apply it and actually try to figure out a way to work smarter and not harder, right? And so, for one, I'm thankful to be employed because I know what it is to not be employed. But when I'm in a posture of complaining, all I'm doing is pulling on the negative things. When you complain, you will remain. And that is why we struggle to move past things as we need to move past them, because we are in a posture of complaining and hoping that something will change. But the more you complain, you are polluting your spirit, you're polluting your courage, you're polluting your energy to formulate a plan and to execute. The more you complain, instead, just be thankful. God, I thank you for this experience, although it is not where I want to be, but I'm learning a whole lot. I have a lot to learn from this experience. Um, I will do my best, and whatever I can't do, I'm not going to hold myself hostage or beat myself up about it. This is all a learning experience. It is temporary. I am worthy, I'm whole, I'm smart, and I will make a better decision the next time around. Those are the kind of things you may want to say to yourself when you realize that you want to be thankful versus complaining. I know it's hard. Some things are hard. Being a single mother, I know nothing about it. So I understand it's difficult for some people. But the longer you complain, the more you will remain and not have the energy and the wisdom to pull on your resources or to learn what it is you need to learn, to work smarter versus harder. Okay. And so the third pitfall is the longer you ignore what your spirit and heart desires from you, you will be miserable. And so when I say miserable, um, a lot of times when we're not happy on the inside, we take that out on those we love the most. We take it out on people who are trying to help us and not hurt us. We become guarded. We become defensive. We become uncoachable, unreachable, and negative and mean spirited. And so when you are ignoring what it is that you want, for instance, if you're in a relationship with a taker, you can't tell me that your spirit is not discouraged. You can't tell me that um, you can't tell me that you don't feel a little bit of misery when you're constantly the giver and someone's taken from you without any regard for you, no consideration for the effort and the sacrifice that you put into things. So it's going to cause you to be a little bit miserable. A little bit of dis-ease is going to take over, right? So when you recognize, hey, I'm feeling frustrated, let's say job. I'm feeling frustrated in my job. I am feeling that I'm starting to complain a little bit more than I should or more than I was before. I'm starting to feel a little bit miserable driving here. Just dragging along as I'm walking to work once I park my car. Dreading to go to a meeting. Whenever you notice these things, you are ignoring something that your spirit and your heart is trying to get through to you. So what you can do is pay attention to what it is that is causing your spirit and your hope to feel unfulfilled. Okay? Because hope deferred makes the heart sick. But a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. So when you actually pay attention to what it is that you need and what it is that you truly want, make sure that it is a realistic expectation. As I said before, wanting somebody else's husband to love you and pursue you, it's not realistic. Okay? You can't want for something that's not yours. And that be it a car, that be it clothes, material things, that be it anything that you're looking at another person hoping that it's your situation also, or that you have it. You don't know what that person went through to acquire what they acquired. You don't know if they're really happy in the thing that they want to post online and present themselves like they're really happy about. You really just don't know. So please avoid watching what other people have so that you don't compare yourself and cause your spirit to be more embittered than it needs to be, right? So that is the session for tonight. Pay attention to what it is that your heart and your spirit really needs, and be grateful for the learning experience if it's something that's draining the life out of you, because once you're being drained, you're going to learn some key things about yourself in that situation. Hopefully you will apply what it is that you need to make adjustments in your behavior, your thoughts, and how it is that you react to it, so that you can move forward, make some better choices, create a plan, pray, pray, pray. Can't say it enough. Pray, and not just pray and sit there and wait for something to happen. You have to make something happen, okay? And when I say make something happen, if you're looking for a job or you need to look for a job, again, set out a plan. I will apply for 3 to 5 jobs that apply to my experience of where it is that I'm trying to be in my career. What is your vision for your career? What is the vision for your relationship? What is the vision you have for your relationship with your family, your children, your credit? Like, you have to have a vision so that you can work towards whatever it is that you're hoping for, okay? So just make sure your hopes and your expectations are realistic. And I love you all. And that is a mini session. And I think I'll be doing a part 2 of this also, because we're going to get to a place where we are no longer deferring our hope. Okay, we're going to go for what it is that we want and separate ourselves from the things that is draining our spirit. Okay, so that's the session for today, and that is the Windism. Leave your comments and feedback below if you have any questions, concerns, or just want to provide some feedback. I greatly welcome it and appreciate it. Thanks for listening.